Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video we are going to have a discussion of second semester additional English question paper October 2000, 2022 examination question paper of second semester, all the courses BA, BSc, BCA, BCom, BBA and the other all the courses comes under which come under second semester additional English October 2022 examination question paper under BCU Bangalore City University. Before that, let's have a glance on the syllabus. You have the syllabus like this: the language component 40 marks, slogan writing 5 marks, leaflet writing 10 marks, presentation skills 10 marks, correct the errors in the sentences 10 marks, rearrangement of jumbled segments, that's again for the 10 marks. Then you have the course book. Under this course book you have 6 chapters: the Jamun tree, Lalu, the politics of living, the curse, the carpenter and the beggar, and the spear. So like this you have 11 units in the syllabus. Let's move on. Section A, as usual, the section A which consists language components for 40 marks. To begin with, the first question, you will be given here 3 situations or the 3 themes. On based on the 3 themes, you need to develop, you need to attempt 2 themes, and for each theme, you need to create the 2 slogans or 2 captions. For example, the first question you have here, plastic free campaign. So the slogans may be like this: do something drastic, cut the plastic; be safe to earth and reduce the use of plastic; handle with care, plastic is everywhere. Second theme is here, blood donation. Donate blood and be the reason for someone's existence. Stay fit and eat right and donate blood. Be the reason for someone's heartbeat. And the third question with choice, one image will be given, and based on the image you need to develop here two important slogans. So the slogans may be like this: give us freedom, not feardom; stand up for women's safety; stop violence against women. So like this, 3 themes are given, 2 themes based on the topic and 1 theme based on the image, and you need to develop the 2 slogans for each question. So you need to create here 2 themes. So this is for slogan writing, 5 marks. Now we are moving to the leaflet design. Leaflet design, let me make it very much clear that leaflet design is very much simple, just like a poster presentation. So prepare a leaflet advertising a popular sports brand of shoes, include important and necessary details. Though I have borrowed this image from Google, obviously you cannot do the same thing in the examination, but at least if you are very good in drawing, you can draw the better image and you can give some important instructions or important information about the popular sports brand shoes. So you can prepare like this, you can give a nice theme. So it all depends on your creativity. How do you do it? The second question, design a leaflet advertising the grand opening of a mall, include important and necessary details. So give some important information, phone number, etc. So these images are only for educational purpose. So I would like to say here, this question is very expensive for 10 marks, and out of two themes, you need to, out of 2 questions, you need to attempt only one. So one caution you need to keep in your mind, that design it very elegantly, very decorative manner, give maximum information, use the full sheet of your answer script from top to the bottom, draw the lines, the border, design it just like how you design a kind of brochure, a poster on system. Similarly you should do it, otherwise you'll be losing the marks. You won't get the 10 marks out of 10 if you don't design it properly. So this is leaflet writing for 10 marks. Now the next question you have here, 6 presentation slides on any one of the topic. Again, presentation slides for 10 marks. You have here 2 important topics: the new normal post pandemic and social media. So remember that generally we do PowerPoint presentation on the system, but here you need to do manually. So you can do something like this. Again, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 6, and the Yeah, thank you slide. So bring some sort of distinctive features in your slide, some sort of unique things in your slide. Use some cartoons, use some sort of design, use some sort of drawing better, and give the slides number 1 2 3 4 5 6. So better to do 8 slides. The reason is the first slide is a introduction slide, the topic name, presentation by, and the last slide is a thank you slide, and the remaining 6 slides in between will be related to the content. Similarly, you can see the next topic is about the social media. First slide is the introduction slide. Second is what is social media. Then why is social media important? Different types of social media. How to use social media safely. And the last one is here. Thank you. So this is how the presentation slides for 10 marks. Out of the 2 topics, you are going to select one topic. Next, very important question. Here you have 10 sentences. Each sentence has some sort of grammatical error. You need to identify the error, you need to correct it, and you need to rewrite it. So what can be the error? The error may be related to the articles, prepositions, subject verb agreement, punctuation, conjunction, tenses. So you need to go through the sentence very minutely. Question number 1, he's putting a ladder on the wall. So generally putting is not the right expression. He puts the ladder against the wall, not on the wall, against the wall. So there is an error of preposition. There's no money. There is no money to waste. So there is no money to be wasted. Second question, error. Third one, the price of essential commodities in all the states have shot up. So have shot up. So the price is the noun here, and the price is a singular noun. The price of the essential commodities in all the states has shot up. So this is the question related to subject verb agreement. If the subject is singular, the helping verb will also be singular. If the subject verb is plural, the helping verb will also be the plural. I have seen Sarvesh yesterday. Yesterday is the expression of the past tense. So I saw Sarvesh yesterday. Fifth question, he as well as she are intelligent. So answer is wrong here. He as well as she is intelligent, because the second noun we have to see the second pronoun is in the singular format. So the helping verb should also be singular. What did happen there? So there's a lot of arguments on this question. So to be on safer side, or as far the examination is concerned, we say what happened. Then this n 5-year-old child. So this is 5 years old child. Generally this is 5 years old. This is a 5 years old child. So you can say also the also, if it's very specific, the 5 years old. If it's not specific, a 5 years old. I stayed in Surat in the winter. So we don't use article the before the names of the season until they are the specific season. For example, winter of 2019. Then we can say the winter of 2019. So it's a very non-specific season here. So we don't use articles before the name of the seasons. So I stayed in Surat in winter. I stay. So there's again an error here. I stayed. Please correct it. All of you, please kindly please correct. I stayed. STAYED. I stayed in Surat in winter. I repeat, the correct answer is here. I stayed. STAYED. I stayed in Surat in winter. Kindly do this correction. I'm sorry for this mistake. This is a 18-player team. This is the 18 players team. The 18 players team. Last question. The teachers of the school knows me. The teachers of the school. Teachers are in the plural subject. So obviously the main verb will be without s or es. So the teachers of the school know me, not knows me, know me. So these are the 10 questions, each for 1 mark. 10 questions. Correct the errors in the sentences. 10 marks. Last question from the language component. So this is a very important question and very horrible question. You know why? I'll tell you later. Here you have two sets of sentences. So again, you have an option here, this for 5 marks. Just have a look here. This is the set number 1, set number A. You have one, two, three, four, five, 4 sentences here. They are jumbled segment sentences. You need to rearrange it in a meaningful context. Don't add anything extra. Just copy it, but rearrange in a very meaningful context. Suppose if you do one error, if you take one sentence in the wrong arrangement, you'll be getting 0 marks. So you have here, the challenge comes when one has to nurture. Leadership is a manifestation of strong love and compassion for people and the commitment of principles. A true leader, political, religious, or social, has many challenges to face. Hence, the capacity to express one's commitment varies from individual to individual. So let's try. So the answer may be like this. Leadership is a manifestation of strong love and compassion for people and a commitment of principles. The challenge comes when one has to nurture. A true leader, political, religious, or social, has many challenges to face. Hence, the capacity to express one's commitment varies from individual to individual. So if you bring up one wrong sequence, you are losing here 5 marks. So easy but expensive question. Second set you have here, there's an option. The rains had failed last summer. In order to overcome this issue, the BBMP authorities had decided to sink more number of the bore wells. Thus, situation was brought under control by the authorities. So all the wells and the tanks had run dry. As a result, they were able to supply water to the citizens. Now let's rearrange it in a meaningful context. The rains had failed last summer, so all the wells and tanks had run dry. In order to overcome this issue, the BBMP authorities had decided to sink more number of bore wells. As a result, they were able to supply water to the citizens. Thus, the situation was brought under control by the authorities. So this is how you need to arrange the sentences, and you can get here 5 marks. So let me recall here, so far we have discussed the 40 marks questions from the language component. Let me tell you very fast. 5 marks slogan writing, 10 marks leaflet writing or advertisement writing, and the 10 marks 6 presentation slides, and 10 marks correct the errors in the sentences, and 5 marks for the rearrangement of the set of sentences. Now we are moving to the course book, where you have 6 chapters and 20 marks questions will be asked here. And in this section you have here 2 segments: 5 marks 2 questions, and 10 marks 1 question with choices. So fourth section, answer any 2 questions out of 4. Each question is for 5 marks. Bring out the behaviors presented by the undersecretary in the Jamun tree. The third day, a reply came from the horticulture department when the Jamun tree was fallen down and one person lost a life here. There were people, they approached the horticulture department. There was a reply from the department. It was very harsh and full of sarcasm. The secretary of the horticulture department, it appeared, was a man with a literary turn of mind. He wrote, I'm surprised that at this time, when the Grow More Trees campaign is in full swing, we should have thoughtless officials in the country, so thoughtless that they would not bulk at cutting down a tree, and a fruit bearing tree at that, which in this case happens to be Jamun tree, whose fruit is relished by all, high and low. Under no circumstances can our department connive at such sacrilege. Means to say, he says that all over the country the campaigns are going on, grow more tree, and you are talking about to remove the tree which is full, which is laden with so many jamuns, and we should not, and our department will never take such kind of step. Just see the agony here, a person is already under the tree and is about to lose his life, and this horticulture department is not uh, is not accepting to remove the downfall tree, to remove the tree from the particular place. So this is the behavior of the undersecretary of horticulture department. Question number 2, discuss the mindset of Tara's parents in the short story. So again, I have brought some sort of summary where we can easily connect the parents' behavior, especially Tara's father, Mahesh Babu. The Politics of Living is a story dealing with a middle class family and their life in the society. It's written by it's written by Indraganti Janakibala, renowned Telugu writer who deals with the main protagonist of the story, Tara's agonies. This short story throws light on the issues that women often face. Tara shows her grit in the end to live her life according to her will and wish, thereby rejecting all the assumed stereotypes of the society about the women. Tara had a master in economics, a gold medalist, and she had cleared the competitive examination. Her father, Ramesh Babu, had made sure that she would not be overlooked in the interview. That is what how Tara became the goose that laid golden eggs and was to counter Mohan's mercenary maneuvers for dowry pass in the selection of brides and become his wife. So Ramesh Babu, who played an important role for Tara's education, then one day Tara received a letter from her office. Her father Ramesh Babu opened the letter, read it, and he was stunned. It was a show cause notice asking Tara to explain how she could have taken social leave for 6 weeks under the pretext of having an abortion 6 months ago and then taking maternity leave just 5 months after that. They accused her of cheating the department and producing false certificates. The festive atmosphere in the house became tense and gloomy. On learning the full facts of all had that transpired, Ramesh Babu, he was very agitated and Mohan was confused. Tara felt as if her mind had gone blank. Ramesh Babu immediately swung into action and he set out determined to see that his daughter did not lose her job. Ramesh Babu tried to contact Dr. Lalita, who had first examined Tara. He realized that it was stupid to hope that she would admit to her mistake in writing. She had been in a hurry to go abroad, as some officers and the section heads had prepared the case very skillfully. They did not yield to any of Ramesh Babu's efforts to set things right. The order dismissing her from service duly came. Tara, who had grown up like a doll, dressed in colorful clothes, had now woken up, a human being of flesh and blood, a thinking girl, a woman with her own likes and dislikes. Since childhood, she had only known how to obey whatever her mother said, to follow her mother's way of thinking. She never thought on her own, nor had she any occasion to do so. Dress, makeup, jewelry, fashion, relatives, friends, all were prescribed by her mother, while education, subjects, competitive examination, interviews, in all such things, she was well prepared by her father. That's a parent's role. She realized that she had to be better than those in her circle. She completed her convent education without any problem. After that, when she joined college, she understood what beautiful clothes, class, and status meant. When she was in her final year of BA, there was a talk of her marriage at home. Tara accepted all this very normal. When her mother said, "If you do things like this, nobody will marry you," Tara corrected herself immediately. If she was told to behave in a certain manner to enable her to find a good match, she tried to do so. These days, it is not enough just to have an education, you will have to get a job if you want a good alliance. She was told, and after that, she was determined to get a good job, and that she did. She put her money in the bank and saved enough for her dowry. When she thought of her husband, she thought of his height, looks, education, job, status, dowry, gifts, things given conventionally at a wedding, etc., but not of the man, his emotions, his way of thinking, his ideas regarding equality, love, and the like. She heard people certify that the boy was good, intelligent. So, with the efforts of her father Ramesh Babu, she gets a job back, but has decided not to return to Mohan's home. Even she is ready to file a divorce case. So, that is the impact of Tara's parents of Tara on her life. Third question for 5 marks. Elucidate on the carpenter's reaction to the beggar in the poem The Carpenter and the Beggar. The poem Carpenter and the Beggar presents an argument about the usefulness of profession. Through the conversation between the carpenter and the beggar, the poet debates on spiritual labor versus physical labor and what is more useful to society. The poet throughout the poem also presents the theme of dignity of labor. In this poem, a beggar who is described as a fat and having religious marks on his forehead. He's begging for a little at doorstep of addressing God. A carpenter who is working on the veranda stopped and howls and shuns him away. He says that the beggar will not be given anything there. Later, debate begins between the beggar and the carpenter. The carpenter says that the little which he is receiving is also a little which is thrown away by somebody, not by his labor. The beggar answers that this handful given to him will ensure that much good written in heaven. So he says very promptly, the poet says, a little given to you is a little thrown away, the worker said. A handful given to me will ensure that much good returns in heaven. The beggar persisted. The carpenter addresses him a lazy sycophant and remarks that every handful given to people like beggar will push this nation one step backward. The beggar claims that he is rich in knowledge as far as the ancient Vedas, Puranas, Agamas, epics are concerned. He calls him a mere carpenter. The carpenter comments that at least he works from day to night and toil. But what the beggar would receive from his Vedas and his Agamas, here the carpenter considers work as a worship. So this is how the question number 3. The last question for the 4 marks. Explain the significance of the title Curse. The Curse is a hard-hitting poem that depicts the indifference, cruelty, greed, and apathy of men towards nature, and specifically our forest. The imagery of a vibrant, flowering tree converted to lifeless furniture is a stern warning to all of us that we too, like dead wood and dead birds, will have our life force sucked out of us. The title of the poem is appropriate because we take our forest for granted. We cut down trees indiscriminately to make way for our burgeoning population. We kill our fellow creatures with impunity and insensitivity. The curse of the dead will descend on us, and nature will take its powerful revenge on us. The poet remarks that the entire forest is dead now because its wood is being utilized by human beings for different purposes. For example, the chair on which we sit is compared to a tomb. The table is made of a wood on which a bird used to sit, and now they are cursing. The human being alone have thrashed the forest to death. Once upon a time, these woods used to give birth to flowers, which was a symbol of life. Now the agony is that the bed cannot be decorated with flowers as the forest is dead now. The pillow's cotton will throw its damning silken cobwebs into dreams. This, this disembodied forest will slowly turn human being into wood, and the life forces will drain out the five senses. The poet aptly mentions here, your fancy bedstead won't be decked with flowers now. The pillow's cotton stuffing hankers for revenge. It will throw its damning silken cobwebs into your dreams. The disembodied forest will breathe into you, and among all this wood, you will be slowly turned to wood. The life force will drain out of your five senses. So these were the four questions for 5 marks, and out of the four questions, you need to attempt two questions. So we have discussed your 10 marks questions from the course book. Now you have three questions, and out of three questions, you need to opt one for 10 marks. So you have plenty of choice. Very lucky. Let's begin it. Trace the transformation in the character Tara in the story The Politics of Living. So again, you can get more information about this story Tara here. This is quite lengthy answer, so it will be very easy for you to remember the story through this answer. The Politics of Living is a story dealing with a middle class family and their life in the society. It's a story, it's written by Indraganti Janakibala, renowned Telugu writer, who deals with the main protagonist Tara's agonies. This story throws light on the issues that women often face. Tara shows her grit in the end to live her life according to her will and wish. Thereby, she rejects all the assumed stereotypes of the society about the women. Mohan and Tara both are professional. Tara applied for a month's leave due to the abortion, as per the Tara's reports, doctor's report. Mohan did not show any worry about it, and he was not much concerned about her health. Later, later she again conceived after 6 months. Once One day, she received a letter from her office. It contained that it was a show cause notice asking Tara to explain how she could have taken special leave for 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 weeks under the pretext of having an abortion 6 weeks ago. So I repeat once again. It contained that it was a show cause notice asking Tara to explain how she could have taken special leave for 6 weeks under the pretext of having an abortion 6 months ago, then taking maternity leave just 5 months after that. The accused her of cheating the department and producing false certificates. When Mohan came to know about it, he got angry and blamed Tara for not knowing the rules and regulation properly. They had a great verbal fancy, even he slapped Tara. Mohan always gets annoyed early. He doesn't have good listening skill and does not respect women. Even he got married to her only because of a job. Tara goes to her house with the efforts of her father Ramesh Babu. She gets a job back, but she has decided not to return to Mohan's house, even she is ready to file a divorce case. Question number two. Do you think the reason for the speaker's aggravated guilt was a pregnancy of the doe alone? Substantiate with reference to the poem The Spear. The Spear was published in an anthology called Poetry from Nagaland in 2005. The poem takes on the persona of a male hunter who, as afterthought, who had to go back to the Jum fields to collect his spear during an afternoon trip to the river. After a purifying dip in the waters, he takes up the trail home. Hearing a low bark in the shrubs, he makes out a speeding form and hurls his spear. Approaching the prey, he realizes it is a pregnant, barking doe. Doe means a female D. The speaker agonizes over the loss of two lives in the breaking of a taboo. Obviously, the doe as well as its child. Following a folk custom and to mark the shame, he covers the doe's eyes with grass. To warn everyone to stay away from the polluted site, he erects a circle of Jena. In the end, with great regret, the speaker stumbles into confronting arms of his pregnant wife. Now, let's understand that the story here, that was the theme. The speaker says that it beggar with the spear, he had to go back to get it from the June field during his afternoon trip to the river. He stood hesitant at the stream. A tree trunk is laid across. He entered the cool water. The moment he embraces the cool water, he feels his tired limbs get relaxed. He comes out as a new man with new energy, and his mind is bent on home as somebody is waiting for him at home. As it's afternoon, the shadows were lengthening as the rays of the fading sun speedily through bushes and shrubs along the rough hewn jungle paths. With his only companion spear, he hurried his pace. On his way, he stopped suddenly by a low bark. He feels another low moan and a blurry flight across the path. His spear fled with lightning speed, no volition, only instinct accelerating deadly aim toward the Shapley Silhouette. He says, when suddenly a low bark stopped me in my track, another low moan and a blurry flight across the path, and my spear fled with lightning speed, no violation, only instinct, accelerating deadly aim towards the shapely Silhouette. He crept forward and gasped at the sight of the writhing doe, his spear firmly impaled in her wounded bigness, her life ebbing away. She exhaled with a last morning heave, expelling new life from her dying frame, wrapped in her guts and the breath and the birthing blood. So he killed the doe. She tried to free from the newborn from its watery fold, but his spear stood unyielding in its hold. The hunter felt sorry. He stood there numb as a witness of his own crime till the evening, because a pregnant doe is killed by his spear. Hurriedly, he gathered the grass and covered it as a mark of his shame and invoked the nature's forgiveness. He says, grief engulfing my suddenly tired body, I stood there numb, a mute witness to my own crime, until the evening shadows urged for safety, hurriedly gathering some wild grass. I covered her unseeing teary eyes to mark my shame and invoke nature's forgiveness. Following a folk custom and to mark the shame, he covers the doe's eyes with grass to warn everyone to stay away from the polluted site. He erects a circle of Gena or Jenna. He ran faster, bleeding and weeping, until he stumbled into the waiting arms. Sitting by the roaring hearth, he was praying to God to save his child as his was pregnant. He says, praying to the gods to protect my seed from mindless talkers such as me, for now I knew it was not the spear alone that caused it all. So now his wife is pregnant. He's praying for his own kid after killing a pregnant doe. So now the last question for 10 marks. Education and humanity are not correlated. Substantiate with reference to the short story Lalu. Again, I have given here a short summary to connect on this answer. The story Lalu happens in a small town of West Bengal almost more than 150 years ago now. It is narrated by an unidentified friend of Lalu. It covers about 10 years span for the action with Lalu as a schoolboy on the verge of entering college. The focus is on Lalu's exploits during his adolescent years during his school days. He is the only son of his parents. His father is a well to do lawyer and his mother Nandarani is a hard-working housewife. Story begins. Lalu is a real mischief to his family, and with the mother always being at the receiving end of his tricks. She always gets complaint. Once he scares her mother by throwing a rubber snake on a body. She sprains her ankle very badly. She's fed up with her son's mischief and arranges to appoint a private tutor to discipline Lalu. This is vigorously disliked by Lalu, as having resident teacher in the house is like having a policeman under the roof. Lalu's mother is a devout person. She invites her guru to stay in her house as gratitude and respect towards the old man. She believes that the stay of the good man would sanctify her renovated house. However, Lalu does not appreciate the plan. When the guru comes to stay in the house, Lalu arranges to drip ice cold water on him when he is asleep. As a result, the poor old man, Guru, keeps awake throughout the night, tries to sleep in the veranda, and is bitten by swarms of mosquitoes. When Lalu's mother comes to know, she discovers Lalu's tricks. She is much ashamed at inflicting insult on a Guru and is livid with anger. She wants to thrash Lalu soundly, but Lalu escapes and stays for 15 days at his aunt's house. Now see the change in Lalu or the other personality. Lalu may be mischief monger, but he's a jack of many trades and skills. He has a good mechanical brain and he can repair things, gadgets very skillfully. He's innovative and self-dependent. He wants to set up his own business at an early age. A completely new side of his personality is revealed in the episode of Goat Sacrifice to Goodness Kali at Orthodox believer Manohar Chatterjee's worship at his home. It happens that the blacksmith who performs the actual sacrifice is taken severely ill and cannot report to the work. So there is no one else who can take up this responsibility. At this juncture, Lalu's name surfaced for the job because he's such a daredevil. His father also agrees. Lalu slices off. Lalu cuts the heads of the two gods vigorously, but now the sacrifice, as it were, has him in its grip. Means to say, it was in his hand to do the further sacrifice. Not. He's drunk with violence and demands more gods to be beheaded. However, there being no animals, there were no other animals. Lalu begins to chase Manohar himself in order to slice his head in the sacrifice. So he said that if there are no animals, I'm going to cut Manohar's head now. Panic breaks loose in the house and Manohar is mortally afraid. Lalu pretends to be possessed by some spirit of sacrifice and plays a role like a deft, seasoned actor. Manohar Chatterjee requests Lalu with folded hands to spare him. Here is Lalu's chance. He makes Manohar to take an oath that henceforth he will never in future perform animal sacrifice in Kali worship. The story concludes on this suggestive note. So means to say education and humanity both are not connected. So it does not mean that all only the educated people have the humanity. You can see here Lalu, who was very mischievous person for his mother, but in this story, when you see the further story, the development in his character, we find him that he's very tricky fellow. He teaches a lesson to Manohar. Manohar who offers the sacrifice on the altar to worship Kali, and finally he says that he teaches a lesson to Manohar that if you do it once again in the future, first your head will be cut. So, friends, this is how I have solved this question paper of second semester, all the courses, additional English under BCU. And in the description box, you can see the link of the model question paper of second semester additional English under BCU. So you'll be having two question papers, and I hope these two question papers will help you a lot to prepare for the forthcoming examination If you have liked this video, click on the like button. Please write in the comment box. If you are not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe. Thank you so much. Wish you good luck for the examination. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.